tuning in to the online broadcast network, AfterBuzz TV. Over 20 million weekly downloads from over 200 countries and your number one source in after-show entertainment. AfterBuzz TV, the destination for TV superfans, producing after-shows for over 300 of your favorite TV shows, interviewing celebrities and showrunners, and bringing you behind-the-scenes exclusives. All thanks to E! Entertainment's Maria Menounos, producer Kevin Undergaro, and internet leader Akamai. Now, let the buzz begin!
Hello, Finding Carter fans. Welcome to the AfterBuzz Finding Carter After Show. I'm your host, Yael Teagle. With me today is Kristen Strange.
Hello.
Kylie had her birthday this week, and so I'm assuming she's hungover, and that's where she is.
Well, I have my birthday in a couple weeks on the day we tape this show, so
yeah, so
I expect a cake.
We'll get drunk together.
And a margarita waiting for me.
Yes, on it. So welcome. We're talking about Half Baked, the latest episode of Finding Carter. And we have some news and a challenge that we will issue in a bit, so stick around. Let's start with where the episode starts. David and Carter are going to a meeting with Lori. At this moment, just at that moment, what did you think?
I was thinking, why are they meeting Lori? And why is David agreeing to this? And I kind of figured it wasn't going to happen.
Okay, so it never crossed your mind that you missed something?
No.
Okay.
No, it didn't cross my mind that I missed something. I just thought, I don't know. It seemed like a sketchy situation, and David was awkward in the car. Mm-hmm. When Carter asked him, like, is this going to be weird for you? He hesitated super awkwardly, so that was my concern about the meeting. He was like, oh, no. Really?
So I was like, wait. Did he get another phone call? I thought the burner phone had one phone call.
Oh, yeah.
Did I miss something?
Oh, I guess I was thinking that.
Yeah, because I was like, wait, how did he get in touch with her?
I just figured that he went another route. They figured something out. Like maybe.
That they just didn't want to tell us. I was so confused. And we have this adorable little flashback. Mm-hmm. I guess we'll call it adorable. Where Carter is remembering her mom and getting lost on the playground. And they pinky swore. That was so cute.
That was a cute little moment with them. I feel like Lori was a really good mom, despite the fact that she abducted a child. If we're like gonna put a pin in that for a second,
let's put a pin in that. In the fact that she kidnapped her.
I think that she was like a really good mom, don't you think? Because Carter loved her.
Yeah.
She didn't have a lot of strings. She didn't have she had a really long leash. She could do whatever she wanted, but Lori was not supported by a man, so she had to make money for them somehow. She supported this child who wasn't hers. Mm-hmm. So, I don't know. We got to give her credit for that. And then when we add the child abduction in,
right.
Sure, she gets a little crazy.
So, I feel like every flashback we're seeing, Carter is revealing a little bit more that she's like, oh, wait, maybe she's insane.
Yeah.
Right? Like, it's not these cute, like the first time we meet her, where she's just the best friend mom. Mm-hmm. We see all these little moments that are like, wait, if you now know that this girl was kidnapped, this is kind of insane.
Yeah, like the babies last week. That was the worst one.
The babies. And I think this one where she's like, don't ever leave me. I would not know what to do without you. I'm freaking out like a creeper.
Yeah, that was a little creepy. Mm-hmm. She's got this switch. She's like sweet as can be. Mm-hmm. And then she got a switch where she can just turn super crazy.
Which I think is a beautiful commentary on Melena's acting.
I was just going to say, like, she's clearly a really great actress.
Yeah,
because I feel like we've seen so many sides of Lori that make you love her a little bit and then hate her a lot. And then, it's talent.
It is
talent right there.
So shout out to Melena. The main story this week was Grant thankfully does not hold in his secret. He tells Elizabeth that he hates her, and then he leaves and goes to Max's and interrupts Max and Taylor. Best, like, seeing of each other. Can we comment real quick, though, on Taylor wearing makeup? Like, very visible makeup.
That's true. She thought she was going to have sex with her boyfriend. That's what she thought was going to happen right there.
Because that's how you know, guys. It's when a girl wears makeup. It's not what that means. I really hope we didn't just do something terrible.
I feel like I would try not to, because you don't want to, like,
Get it smeared?
sweat it off.
Yeah. All right, so when your girl doesn't wear makeup.
It's on.
Okay.
Tips to all you teenage boys
Yeah,
out there
we're
who are wondering.
AfterBuzz TV exclusive.
Yep, we're giving you sex advice.
We're going to start a whole show on that.
Okay. So Lori doesn't show to the meeting. Carter's super heartbroken. And we get back to the affair. Grant is tells Max and Taylor. And Taylor is like, I don't believe you. He's like, Gabe was there. So they go and they tell Carter and Crash, because they're always together.
I know. Crash should not have been there. I was like, leave, Crash. You're not a part of this.
But he is.
I know.
Anything you can say in front of Carter, you can say in front of Crash.
It's like a two peas in a pod. It's really annoying.
Hashtag car crash.
I'm over them.
Oh. Why?
I don't know, because Crash looks very young, and I feel like it's creepy that he's cute. And he also kind of reminds me of my ex-boyfriend. So there's a lot of things that go into me not supporting the relationship.
So you're over this relationship 100% for personal reasons and nothing to do with the show.
Well, also, I feel like he's just kind of a puppy dog for Carter. He's just sitting there like,
Yeah.
oh, you're leaving the country? I'll leave the country.
Right.
No, do your own thing, Crash.
Which-
Have a backbone.
I mean, this is now the third puppy dog she's had.
That's true. But Max, I feel like he has a little bit of a backbone.
Mm-hmm.
He still kind of gives her whatever she wants, but he has a little bit of a backbone.
I agree. I just think it's interesting that the three men who have fawned over her have all turned into, at least,
Yeah.
this puppy dog thing
She has a power over men.
that turns them into dogs.
Apparently.
Interesting. So of course they go and they tell Carter and they confront Gabe, and Gabe says that he's known for 3 years.
That's crazy.
I can't believe he didn't tell anyone.
That's a big burden to bear. He had to have known since he was about Grant's age. He'd have been like 13-ish.
Yeah.
That's so sad. How do you handle that at 13?
Well, so what's interesting is he then explains how his dad, is really sad because his mom had died, and that
guess, yeah.
the first time. So he, for those who've seen the interview with the actor who plays Kyle, with Eddie Matos, he's so adorable.
Latin lapdog.
Yeah, the Latin lapdog. If you've seen the interview, he talks about how the relationship isn't an affair; it's about love. And I think this is the first time we see Gabe also saying it's not an affair. They love each other. It's the first time he's been happy.
Well, an affair can be love too, right?
Yeah, but it's not like a, purely sexual, no
Yeah.
feelings involved, passionate affair.
Yeah.
It's they're in love. They want to be together.
Yeah.
They don't want to be on the side. They want to be the,
Each other's main relationship.
yeah.
Or only, ideally.
Well, we don't judge. So Gabe is known for 3 years, and we get a lot of backstory about his family, about his mom. What did you think about learning about Gabe? Are you happy we got some story behind him?
I could have lived without Gabe's story. I mean, it was enough to learn that he knew, and then I was done.
Oh, yeah?
I actually didn't even retain a lot of the information about his family.
About his mom dying of cancer when he was young?
Oh, that sucks, but it does. It really, really sucks. I'm sorry, Gabe. But I didn't feel that it was really relevant.
Yeah.
So I was like, let's move on.
So Carter's like, we got to confront Elizabeth. Taylor, you're with me. That was so, I love Taylor's getting
Me
sassy.
and Taylor will do it.
Yeah. Taylor's getting sassy. She's like, did I raise my hand?
I know, I love that.
Yeah.
I think my favorite part of that whole scene was in the beginning, though, when Grant came in and he was like, Mom's having an affair with Kyle. And Max goes, no. Like, that was just the best part, him reacting to it. I kind of fell in love with Max a little bit there.
You haven't fallen in love with Max already?
I haven't. I didn't see his appeal until this
Just
episode.
now?
Yeah, I didn't get his appeal. And then this episode, I kind of loved him.
If he was like 30 years older, I'd be all up on him. Let's be honest.
Love me some Max now.
Yeah.
He needs a little bit of a trim in the hairline, but not like super bad, but just a little bit more.
He needs a haircut.
A little bit, yeah.
Okay.
Just a trim.
Because the way you made it sound is like you want his hairline to recede. He's like, no, he does not need that. 'Cause that's weird.
That's what I like when they have their hairline receding.
Great. So Carter and Taylor go and confront Elizabeth. I love when they're like, we need to talk to you.
I know.
And they go up to Carter's room and they tell her that they know. and she's kind of surprised, but like, I mean,
She seemed, oh wow, well,
all right,
that sucks.
Yeah. Like, it's out. All right then.
You can't expect to keep an affair hidden forever, though. Eventually, it comes out, especially when there's more to it.
Yeah, if it's just a one-time, tryst, then it's likely that you can keep it if you're not an idiot. But if it's a relationship, that's
Exactly. You can't keep that a secret forever. It's going to come out eventually.
Especially if you're going to talk about it
I know.
at your house.
At your house with your whole family present.
During a party.
During a party.
Yeah.
Well, that was just bad judgment.
What? Thanks, Stephen. That's Stephen Lemieux, sorry, in the booth. I'm giggling. Ridiculous.
Loving these sound effects.
Yeah. So, of course, Carter's like, you have to tell David.
She called him Dad.
Dad, sorry.
You have to tell Dad.
So she calls him Dad. She calls her Elizabeth. What bothers me is this entire episode, and it's been this way this whole season, and it just has gotten worse in this episode, I think. Carter is like, I rule this house. You have to do this. You have to do that. This is how it has to be. Eventually, after Elizabeth, we'll get to Elizabeth moving out and whatever. She's like, I'm going to talk to David. We're moving you back in. Like, you are not the king of this household.
I think they treat her like that, though. They treat her like tiptoe around Carter. We don't want to do anything to upset Carter because Carter has had a rough transition, which she has. But I'm pretty sure any child psychiatrist would say you should treat them normally.
Yeah.
And not treat them with, like, special gloves, or else this will happen.
Yeah.
She thinks that she's in charge and she can do whatever she wants, and she tells her parents what to do, and she does not ever suffer consequences for her actions.
So we're not psychologists here, but we believe that anyone would say, like, why are you treating this child like they rule the house?
Yeah.
You are the adults.
Yeah, I even saw, but I feel like they don't act like adults a lot.
What? There are adults on this show?
Elizabeth, earlier when she was in Grant's room and he was like, I hate you, she backed off like a little puppy. Oh, I'm sorry. He said he hates me. He's almost a teenager. Of course he's going to say that. Teenagers say that they hate their parents. That's what happens.
Yeah.
Let's be real.
Yeah.
That's what you say when you're a teenager. You hate everything.
But also,
he's a boy, too, so he extra hates everything.
Well, so you have this child. Let's go back to that scene where he says he hates her. You have this child who is constantly forgotten about. You ignore him. You treat him kind of like crap. And he finally lashes out.
I'm surprised he didn't hate her before.
Yeah, like, I think at that point, first off, something's clearly wrong. And you as a mother should talk to him about it and try to help him. But also, like, you are a terrible parent to this child.
I know. And I liked how, like, skipping to the end, I know that she did acknowledge she owes Grant a lot.
Oh, yeah, I'm so glad.
I was really happy to hear. I was like, thank God Elizabeth knows she owes him. Yeah. Because she's been acting like she doesn't know that she has been neglecting this child.
I have a note. We will talk all about that. So Elizabeth confronts David, and he doesn't let her know that he is, well, he says, like, yeah, I'm not stupid. Like, I've known. And he talks about it. And he says that he knows it's not love.
Yeah.
Because he knows what she looks like when she's in love.
I don't think he does.
Yeah, apparently not.
I think he does not know.
Yeah.
I think he knows what she looks like when she accidentally gets pregnant and has to get married. He knows what that looks like.
Yeah.
Love, maybe not so much.
He might know what she looks like when she's happy.
Yeah. Yeah, like, I'm sure that she's been content in their life when Carter was, before she was abducted. I'm sure he knows what Elizabeth content looks like, but I have not seen anything from them that make me think that they were ever in love. Maybe they were.
Yeah.
A little.
And so, at this point, I wrote in my notes, everybody knows, Elizabeth. Everybody knows. No one is surprised.
Don't have to break the news.
Yeah. And then we have a really interesting conversation where David is like, hey, I can't believe the girls know, and they pity me.
Yeah.
They pity me. And I need you to do me a favor. Like, we need to talk about this, and this is what I need you to do. And he kicks her out.
I think that David needs to get over his pride a little bit and do what's best for his family. That was, I mean, if they want to work on it, that's great. But it was unnecessary for him to say, oh, because they're going to pity me. I can't handle them pitying me. That will last for like 2 weeks. And, I mean, there's worse things than people pitying you. They could, he could have been the one having an affair and they could hate him. So.
Yeah. So at this moment when he kicks her out, this is what went through my mind, and I may have just made this all up. I thought it was a ploy. I thought he kicked her out for them to not pity him somehow.
I thought that's what it was too.
It was totally a plan, and
because he's manipulating everybody.
Yes, and we will get to that.
Scenes, yeah.
But like, I was positive because when they woke up late and they didn't have milk and they had to deal with everything, I was like, this is his plan. It's one of those things that the parents do to be like, learn your lesson. You need both of us. Yeah, I totally thought that's what was happening. Yeah. So Elizabeth moves out, and on that note, we'll get back to that in a second. I want to take a moment to talk about iTunes. Guys, thank you so much for downloading and streaming and listening and watching the show. We are clearly fans.
Big fans.
Big fans. And we love the show so much that what we want from you is something very small in return. Just go onto iTunes, rate and review our show. If you like our show, give us 5 stars. If you don't like our show, give us 4 stars. And leave a comment letting us know what we're doing well, what we could be doing better. Do we need more sound effects? Do we need less sound effects? No, we do not need less sound effects.
Don't leave that comment.
Yes, see, we need more. But here's the challenge that we are issuing to you. If we get 10 reviews, that is written reviews, not just star ratings, 10 written reviews. We have 2, so we only need 8 more.
On iTunes.
On iTunes, not on YouTube. iTunes reviews. 10. By next Tuesday's episode. That's next week, Tuesday. We will get a sexy guest on the show, and someone you all think is sexy, not someone I all think is sexy.
I think...
I don't know if that's excitement. Yeah,
it was supposed to be. Yeah. Okay, didn't come off that way.
No,
I thought that was like, oh, we did it! Yay! I think that if we get a guest, he might be sexy.
Yeah, it's going to be someone young and sexy, and we will get them on the show on Wednesday. So you have Tuesday night by the show. I want 10 reviews, and we will get someone here Wednesday for the show for the fans. That is a gift that we will give you, and it's someone young and sexy.
We'll maybe get him to show his abs if he's into that. If we get like 25.
Yeah, if we get 25 reviews, I will...
I'm just pimping him out now.
Yeah, we will lose our jobs asking him to show us his abs. That's ideal. I don't believe we'll get 25 reviews.
No. But it's a good challenge.
It's a great challenge.
Great shot.
So 10 to get the guest, 25 to get us to do something we shouldn't do.
If not,
Stephen will show
us his abs.
Deal. Awesome. Okay.
I'll show them anyway.
Great. So let's get back to the episode. As soon as Elizabeth is gone, of course, they wake up late, and Carter and...
There's no more milk.
Yeah, there's no more milk. Carter and Taylor have to get to school. They have to get Grant to school. And the most irritating thing ever happens. They drop him off, and he's like, am I taking the bus? Are you going to remember to pick me up? No, we'll pick you up. Are you going to get milk? Yeah, I'm writing it down. Milk. Okay. It's like they said, we're dumb, is what just happened. Like, he's like, hey, remember all these important things? We're dumb.
I feel like Grant is more of an adult than anybody else in that household.
Of course.
Like, maybe Grant should just be in charge. Let's give him a license. He can go get milk.
Yeah.
He'll pick them up from school.
Yeah. So
he would remember.
Of course, he goes off to school, and the first thing they do immediately is they're like, hey, let's go to hang out with Max and Crash and get high.
And Taylor tried pot.
For the very first time.
Which was a great scene for her.
Yes. Well,
I thought she was really adorable high.
It bothers me because the more Carter is like, you don't have to do it, the more she's going to be like,
I want to.
I can do it. Like, it's not a big deal. And Crash, he's such a bad influence, and he's such a bad, sorry to all the car crash and Crash fans out there, I'm sorry. He's not the kind of guy you want around your sister who is a good kid.
But, I think that part of the reason she did it didn't have anything to do with Carter. Because when she had that scene with Elizabeth where she said, I always tried to make you proud, and I never did anything wrong because I never wanted you to be disappointed in me. Yeah. Because I feel like Taylor kind of tried to act like two twins to never disappoint her parents because she knew how bad hurt for losing Carter. And so she was so disappointed that her mom, she said her mom clearly didn't think about her at all when she had this affair. Well, then she gets the chance to try pot, and she's like, I never did anything bad because I didn't want to disappoint my parents. So yeah, let me do it. So I think that had a lot more to do with it than...
I'm sure that had a lot to do with it. I just know that when you're not the type of person to do these things, regardless of if you think you shouldn't do it, you just aren't the type of person to do these things. For example, someone who doesn't find drugs appealing would not, if offered, because they've been, until this point in their life, they don't find them appealing and it's not the right thing to do, get offered them, they're going to be like, well, I guess I'll do it.
I think you're underestimating teenagers, or you're overestimating teenagers.
I'm just thinking about who I was as a teenager. That's all I'm saying.
I think a lot of teenagers in that situation would make the same choice. Not that,
Okay.
Teenagers are reckless, and they do stupid things all the time. Why do you think we have the show Teen Mom?
I think that there are a lot of teenagers who are reckless and do stupid things and don't think things through. I think that aside from the fact that Taylor is always trying to please her parents, I think she is also genuinely just a good kid.
Oh, really?
Who it's not just about pleasing her parents.
Yeah.
It just never occurred to her. And then they offered it to her and she was like, no, I'm going to rebel.
I just think about myself as a teenager, and I did stupid stuff all the time.
Were you ever on 16 and Pregnant?
No. Didn't get there.
Were you ever on I Didn't Know I Was Pregnant?
No, but that would be crazy. I love that show too.
Of course you do.
No, but I did stupid stuff all the time, and it just happens. It's part of the age. 16 is when you don't come home and you sleep in your car, and I don't know. I think I was genuinely a good kid too. I just sometimes did stupid things.
Okay. Well, so we get to see Taylor High, and I think this was an amazing performance by Anna. It was just so beautiful. Her Pussycat poem and her British accent, and then getting to see Carter do a fake British accent, not her own British accent, was amazing. Wonderful.
I was like, what is she doing?
So good. And then Max puts her to bed, and she's like, don't you want to lay with me?
He could have laid with her.
Yeah.
She wasn't saying, do you want to have sex with me while my sister and her boyfriend are in the other room? She was saying, cuddle me. Lay down.
All right, so you may have been a reckless teenager, but clearly you don't understand what was about to happen. Here's how it would have gone down. Because I remember myself as a teenager and as an adult. I would have said, lay with me.
That's true.
And then you start making out. And then he, who was going to say no, changes his mind.
That's true.
Because the blood flow moves.
Fair. That I did not consider that.
Yeah. You weren't thinking the way she was thinking.
No, but he just has the little things in front of his bed.
So?
Yeah, I guess, that's what happens.
She didn't know she was pregnant.
That's
how that stuff happens.
That's true. That's what we need on this show, is a teen pregnancy.
Oh, don't worry, we'll get there.
Hopefully.
So she does her Pussycat poem, and then of course they forget Grant. Shock.
Everyone forgets Grant.
Yeah. My problem at this point is, how did they get home?
I feel like maybe they drove. Carter can drive high. It's not a big deal. She's experienced in getting high. She drives high. She probably says she's a better driver high, because everyone always says that.
I'm fuming. Teenagers make me so angry.
I had so many friends in high school who were like, I'm a better driver when I'm high.
It's like the people who say they're better drivers when they're drunk.
Yeah, you're just and you're like, yeah, you probably are, let's go. And so Carter is the person that will be like, I'm a better driver high. I just feel like she is.
I really hope the listeners who can't see my face can feel how much I hate that.
Don't drive high.
Or drunk. Or buzzed.
Yeah.
Anyway,
PSA.
So Elizabeth picks up Grant. They all meet at home. I don't want to talk about how they got home. And Elizabeth is angry. And I love seeing Taylor high in front of Elizabeth.
I know.
It was just so great. And that she knew it, didn't even
Yeah.
She's like, oh. And then she calls her my little follower. Because that was beautiful. Yes, Taylor Very much so.
Oh, yeah.
We're going to a party? All right, I'll go to a party. We're going to drink? All right, I'll drink. We're going to make out in the closet? Oh, I'll make out in the closet.
With everyone.
Yeah. Oh, we're going to get high? I'll get high.
Yeah.
My little follower.
Teenager experiences, though. This is a very true to life.
Okay.
Except for the child abduction part.
What,
that is true.
People have, I don't know if you know this, children have been abducted.
No, I know, but like it's not. It's
great.
just, I was going to say this is a lot like when I was in high school, except for I didn't know anybody who was abducted. That's what I meant. I know that people get abducted all the time. I'm actually really intrigued by abduction stories.
I don't know if the listeners can hear, but that's Steven in the booth laughing.
That was a lot like my high school.
Well, that's a lot. Yeah, I mean, I went to
Okay.
high school in San Diego. It's California. It's what happens.
People get abducted all the time?
No, I said not abducted.
Okay.
That was like the one thing we didn't have. I don't think we had anybody abducted. Good job.
Yeah,
Vista High School.
We definitely didn't have abductions. We had something worse.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I'm from Palo Alto, and if people Google Palo Alto in the early 2000s.
Moving on.
So, anyway, Carter realizes that Elizabeth needs to move back, so she goes to David and asks him for permission, I guess, because he's like, no, you need to move back, Elizabeth, and so she's gonna go to Dad and ask him because she rules. She king of the place.
house, Carter.
Yeah. And of course, he's not in his office. He's at a bar, which she just walks right into and walks up to the bar, and not a single person cards her.
Because that's realistic.
Yeah. Because she also, for those who don't know, Kat, who plays Carter, is 23.
Yeah.
Which I believe, but looks like she's 16.
She does look really young because I'm 23 and I don't look as young as her.
She's also like 5 foot.
Yeah, she's
So-
adorable.
She's going to get carded for the next 20 years.
It's better than getting carded 20 years ago,
Aw.
I guess.
She would be 3.
That would be funny.
So David reveals that he's going to get a divorce. And at this point, I was like, oh, maybe they're not playing the kids.
Yeah.
Because he's been talking about this divorce for episodes.
I
now.
know. I've heard him talk and talk and talk. And David, just do it.
Yeah.
But now I don't want him to.
Now you don't want him to.
No, I don't want them to get a divorce. Not yet.
Interesting.
I feel like their marriage could be resolved and worked on.
Well,
And
that's the plan.
yeah, I'm clear. Well, it sounds like it. Maybe.
Yeah.
I don't think that that's what will happen.
I
but-
doubt it. So they're going to work on it. The deal that Carter and David make is Elizabeth's going to come home. They're going to work on their marriage. And she's going to allow him to write the Finding Carter book.
That's what I feel like this whole situation was
Yes.
toward.
Yes.
He wanted to do something that makes Carter
owe him.
me owe him, and in return, he gets to write Finding Carter because he's already writing it and he's already getting paid for it.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. He basically manipulated, again, the whole story.
yeah.
So that he could write the book. And she's like, you can write it. I need to have final approval. And he says yes, which I don't believe will happen.
No.
Refuse to believe it will happen.
I think he'll be like, oh, it went to print. Oops.
Yeah.
You didn't get to read it yet?
Yeah.
Sorry.
He'd totally pull that.
Yeah.
So Elizabeth prepares to move back in. She takes a leave of absence at work,
Yay.
which is great because she wants to be a stay-at-home mom for a bit.
Yeah, that was sweet.
It was adorable. She says something that I want to ask you about. She says that she became a cop to find Carter. And now that Carter's back, she doesn't need to be a cop. The question I have is, what did she do before? Because we know that Lori knew them before she took Carter.
Yeah.
And Lori had said to her, you work too much. You're never home. You don't give these kids enough love.
Huh.
So what did she do before? Was she not a cop?
Maybe she did something else that required a lot of work. Or maybe I don't know. Maybe she was like in school and working.
Maybe.
Maybe they'll tell us.
Yeah. I want the listeners, if they know the answer, to comment, of course, on YouTube, please. Let us
Yeah,
know.
because I just assumed that she was a cop
Always.
the whole
Yeah.
time.
I also.
But she does seem to generally love being a cop, despite the fact that it was to find Carter.
Right.
Or Lyndon, as she was called.
Yes. And so the family's back together. let's eat. And she brought
It was a
milk.
sweet scene.
Except that it seemed like the way they'd said it, like, yeah, we're going to eat now. Hey, Taylor, go make food.
Well, no, Taylor offered to cook. I did notice that because I was waiting for them to be like, Taylor, what are you cooking?
Yeah.
But Taylor was like, I'll make food. What do you guys want? What do you guys want? She was like, she volunteered herself.
Yeah, she's like,
So-
remember, I'm the slave, I'm here.
Taylor's fault.
So Taylor's the slave and Carter's the king.
Yeah,
This household, Grant is
little-
forgotten.
I know. I hope that Elizabeth's leave of absence gives her more time to spend with Grant because she has 12 years to make up for.
Yeah.
And he needs to feel not so neglected.
Well, so we see her making these. She's a stay-at-home mom now, so she's scrapbooking and making baby books. And there's one for Taylor and one for Lyndon that now has a Carter sticker on it. And Carter goes, "Where's Grant? Grant doesn't have one."
No.
Oh yeah, I'm a bad mother.
Yeah, I don't even understand how that happened because, okay, you lose one kid and then you get pregnant with another to replace it. Whatever, fine. Like, but was she just miserable her whole pregnancy? And then from the moment Grant started doing cool things like crawling and rolling over and walking, she was just like, eh. Because how do you not? I don't know. It's not like she's a terrible mother.
I just wonder what the
She's-
point of Grant was.
I know, that me too. Why are you even having a child if you didn't have any interest in getting all his memories? And
He's an oopsie baby.
maybe he was.
He was an oopsie baby.
Oh my God, what if he is
Yes.
someone else's?
Whose?
I don't know, maybe she was having an
Kyle's?
affair a long time ago. What if he was Kyle's? He
Maybe.
doesn't look enough like Kyle.
But
But you
that would
never
be
know.
interesting. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so then they're having this heart-to-heart, and Elizabeth reveals that she knows about the phone call, she knows about Lori,
Mm-hmm.
and she's thanking Carter for choosing them, which is, I think, a really beautiful scene. I think it needed to be said. I'm really
Yeah.
glad she got to express it. Unfortunately, Carter then was like, wait a second, and we find out that there was no call about a meeting, that that's not how it happened,
Yeah.
and that David has been manipulating this whole thing the whole time. So David turns out to be the most manipulative person on the show, worse than Lori, the kidnapper. He
That
is
takes a
evil.
lot.
Yeah.
When you have a character on a show that abducted a child for forever
Mm-hmm.
and you suddenly become the worst character on the show.
Yeah,
how does
you're
that
the bad
even-
guy.
How does that even happen,
Finding Carter.
David?
Yeah. I think it's time we head into some news and gossip.
AfterBuzz TV News.
Guys, if you haven't seen it because you're not following us on Twitter, shame on you. Finding Carter has been renewed for a second season. Yes. So that means more Finding Carter. Any answers we don't get this season, we'll get probably not next season either,
No.
but we'll get more information.
Hopefully a few more.
Yeah. We'll get more twists, more turns, more of our favorite characters and actors. And that means we will be able to get more of them on the show. More sexy, sexy men. That is the news. Let's get into predictions.
And now, your AfterBuzz TV predictions.
So in the promo we see the
I
predictions.
liked that.
In the promo we see that the book is done.
Yeah.
Ophi has a black eye and has debts, apparently. Carter's in jail, and Max and Taylor may or may not do it for the first time. Those are the promo spoilers. What do you think is going to happen next week?
I think that Max and Taylor will not. Something will happen, and that because Taylor never gets anything she wants either, and she really wants to have sex with Max.
Apparently.
And yeah, you could tell she really wants it, and it's just not going to happen. Or something will get weird. I don't know what's going to happen, but it's not going to happen for them. Or maybe she will, and she'll get pregnant. Who knows?
Oh, she won't because she's going to find out that he's slept with Carter.
Hasn't she figured that out?
I don't know if she knows if they've had sex.
I would have assumed,
Right.
knowing Carter.
But she is a good kid.
That's true.
Okay.
But she's met Carter.
Yeah.
And I think that whole thing with Ophi and Bird, I think that Bird, they were doing some like drug dealing together.
Well, because he's a hustler.
Yeah. And so that's why he has debts and a black eye, and he goes to Bird because maybe he had sold her stuff and she hadn't paid him for it. Maybe that's what happened.
Maybe.
And then maybe they have sex after. Because
Hopefully.
that's going to happen.
Yeah, can that
eventually.
happen? I think there's going to be a lot of drama with the book.
Oh, yeah.
I think Carter is going to go to jail for helping someone, either Ophi or Crash or Max. One of those three is going to land her in jail. I don't think that Max and Taylor are going to do it for the first time.
No.
As much as she wants to.
Yeah.
And I think we're going to see more Lori. That's what I really want, is Lori's going to show up. I expected her all episode to show up and try to kidnap Carter.
Yeah.
And I think she's going to show up within the next 2 episodes and try to kidnap Carter again.
I'm wondering if maybe the reason Carter's in jail is because of Lori, because she's still a fugitive. So if she's assisting a fugitive, I don't know what the rules are for abductee and fugitive relations.
Well, because she knew where she was,
yeah,
and no one told the police.
And no one reported it. So I'm wondering if maybe they're holding her because I know that Elizabeth comes back and she tells them that Carter's in jail, so maybe she was there too because they were questioning all of them.
Right.
Because they all had a chance to contact Lori and no one turned her over to the FBI.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure that's illegal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think also David is going to continue to manipulate because he's a manipulative jerk.
Yeah. I love that actor, but I don't like his character.
I love him, period. All right, Kristen, I think it's time you tell the people where they can find you online.
You guys can find me on Twitter at Kristen Strange and on Instagram at Kristen Aubrey Strange.
Awesome. And you can find me on yell.tv, that's YAEL.tv, and on Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, and Google Plus at YellTeagle, that's YAELTYGIEL. Don't forget to rate and review us on iTunes so that we can get you a sexy, sexy guest next episode. And we will see you next week for more Finding Carter.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.
Thank you for watching AfterBuzz TV on YouTube. For more of your favorite after shows and interviews, subscribe to our channel here, and be sure to share your opinion on the episode in the comment section below here. We'd love to see what you guys are buzzing about. Thanks again. Buzz you later.